We're live.
We're live. Hey, aloha, everybody. Welcome, Offline Sharks. Super excited you're here. Our Friday Marketing Live Jam session. Welcome. I see Tim Judge is already on here.
What's up, Tim?
Caroline, aloha. Super excited you're here to join us.
I wonder if we're going to 300 people today.
I don't know. I hope we get a lot. That'd be awesome to have a bunch on here.
We need to hit 300.
Yeah, I don't think we've done that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I see people coming on. Yeah, welcome, Zach. What's up, buddy?
Let's see. Do you have the show notes pulled up?
I did come prepared. Yes, I have the show notes pulled up and the shout outs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boom. You know why? Because I am Mr. Incredible. You don't even know what to say to that.
Put a one in. I was going to say, let's poll the audience. What do you guys think? Let's poll the audience. Put a one in the chat box if you think Tom's Mr. Incredible.
That's
Put
right.
a two in the
Mr.
chat box if
Incredible.
you think I'm Mr. Incredible.
Oh, let's not turn them against us.
Okay. I'll be Mr.
Hey, aloha,
Wonderful.
Eric.
Right from Shark Tank.
Yeah. Mr. Wonderful. Yep.
Hey, Kevin.
Awesome.
Kevin.
Oh, Mark. Yeah. Awesome. Well, man, super excited you guys are all here. We have a great show today. We've got a special guest. You may have seen that teased in our email. Hey, howdy, Lynn. From Texas. Yeah,
Hello.
I saw schools getting ready to open back up in Texas. Kevin said if he shaved the face, maybe. See, I told you, got to go back to the goatee. Well, listen, we're super excited. You guys are all here for this weekly Marketing Live Jam session. We've got a lot of great stuff, some content coming up for you. We have also got a special guest we're going to bring on here in a little bit that you guys are going to love to hear from. He's an amazing story. It's like super impressive what he has been able to do. And it's just crazy. You guys are going to love to hear from him and kind of what he's got going on. Aloha, Doug. Aloha, John. Hey, John. So I know John Jiratek. I know him from Michigan when I used to live up there.
Oh, wow.
So welcome, John, Eric. Cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna run through things. You know, we got some shout outs. We can do maybe a couple giveaways, give some stuff out if you guys are ready for that. And then, I'm excited to chat with our guests a little bit more because, some of the stuff that he was telling us even before we got on the live, I mean, I was kind of blown away. I mean, it's not your typical information that you hear from fellow marketers. So I think you guys are going to really like it.
Yeah, really awesome. Cool. Eric wanted to let you know, Nick, that he made his choice before he knew there were options.
Oh,
So
thank you, Eric.
Don't get
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Don't get mad at him. Cool. Awesome. All right, so let's do some shark shout outs. So
Okay.
I'm trying these new AirPods, but man, it's hard to keep them in my ears. Okay, so I will share my screen. And it'll look a little weird here at first, but there we go. All right, cool. So our first shark shout out goes to Zach Smoose. Zach, I saw he was on here. Big shout out. He says, boom, baby. Yesterday, I had somebody contact me to renegotiate pricing to include social media marketing. The original contract was $450 for website plus $50 a month for maintenance hosting. Yesterday, they agreed to $400 for website plus $125 a month. Way to go, Zach. That is awesome, man.
Dude, Zach, that is awesome. I actually had someone, so I have a company that I'm doing some SEO and some retargeting for. They do skincare products, right? And with the shutdown happening, they got like 100 products. But with the shutdown, they transitioned to a new number one product, which is hand sanitizer. And yesterday, they called me up, and they were sweating me hard about SEO. Like, what are backlinks? What are citations? What are, like, just grilling me like on a Zoom call. I'm like, look, this is all you guys need to know. I pulled up the ranking report. I showed them, like, look, you were ranking for, Hawaiian hand sanitizer. You were like page 8. I'm like, how many times, sir, do you go to Google, and when you're looking for something, do you go to page 8 to find what you're looking for? He's like, none. And I was like, well, now you're on page 1. So that's what the SEO does for you. And that proceeded to parlay our conversation into selling him $1,000 a month AdWord campaign. So they were like questioning what we were doing, and then I was able to upsell them into something else. So I was pretty proud of myself for that.
Nice.
But good job, Zach. Good job. Way to position and be resourceful with your customers. Good stuff.
Yeah, and Zach, man, he's always like, I mean, he's just out there every day taking action, right? Like taking action. And that's what we do. We just keep moving forward. Yeah, way to go, Zach. So let's see. Our next shout out goes to Claudia. So Claudia says, today I finally got a message from a restaurant owner thanking me for promoting her business in the website. Yay, now I just have to follow up and sell the list. Wish me luck. So awesome job, Claudia. I mean, like, that's kind of the experience we've been having, right? Like, people have been super pumped to see what we've been doing with the restaurant site and all that stuff. Miranda just told me this morning, Nick, like, she's seeing a ton of messages from restaurants because, they're starting to open up Monday.
Yeah.
So she's been seeing a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah, that's true. I thought of a couple new ways to monetize what we got going on there. So all of the AGM people, I hope you guys are going to be on the next coaching call. It's on the 10th. I have some really important stuff, some cool stuff to share with you guys on what we're doing, what we're seeing, and how we're talking to customers, how we're talking to business owners and things like that. So good job, Claudia. And just so everybody knows, as we open back up, the world, the whole philosophy that we have been using to reach out to restaurants and say, hey, are you still doing, takeout or delivery, now applies to every single business out there. Like, the call just transitions from, hey, are you still offering takeout or delivery, to, hey, are you open? Are you guys currently open? And they say, oh yeah, we're open, or we're not open, right? And that's how you get your foot in the door there. And rather than having the easiest conversations ever with just restaurants, now you can have the easiest conversation ever with basically every single business owner that you talk to. So that's a little more about what we're going to talk about on the 10th. So I hope you guys are signed up for that as well.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everybody too, like, think about what we did, like, as we're coming out of the shutdown. Like, we have every restaurant on Maui in a list that we're communicating with on a regular basis, right? Like, it's over 300 businesses, restaurants, right? Over 300 restaurants that we now have on a list that have said it's okay to communicate with them, that we can now, as those restaurants start to open and revenue starts to come in, like, as they get more business, like, we are now really perfectly primed to be the people that offer them and help them with their digital marketing, right? So again, I can't say it enough, like, how important it is to be building that list. And if you haven't built a list yet, you have not missed the boat. Just because things are starting to reopen doesn't mean you've missed the opportunity. We are just coming into the opportunity. Like, it is not going to be an instant flip your switch type of a deal. There's going to be, a few months of this at a minimum, maybe even more. So your window of opportunity to build that list is still here. So Claudia, way to go, way to take action. That's really, really awesome to see that. Our next shout out. Oh, Nick, I'll let you say this name.
I can't see it. I need to go full screen.
Because I think he said the other day when we were talking, did he say it's pronounced like Sir? Sir Jan?
Sir Jan, I don't know.
I think it's Sir Jan. So
I can't read it.
Sir
Like,
Jan.
the text is too little. I feel like, you know what I'm looking at right now? I feel like the guy on the Brady Bunch. When I'm like looking at the window and looking at the other people, I think it's commercial.
Yeah. The Brady Bunch. I don't know if our guest will get that reference.
I don't think so. I'm looking at him right now.
Brady Bunch. He's probably like, who what's the Brady Bunch?
That's funny.
So Sir Jan, awesome job. Look, he says, after a lot of translating and adjusting to the Serbian market. So for those of you that maybe are on this call and you're not in the US or English speaking countries, Sir Jan really took the initiative, right? Like he translated the content, put it on his influencer site. He went live on Sunday. This is, I believe, Sunday of last week. And since I did prospecting while preparing the site, he already has a premium listing client. The really great news is that today he closed a deal for his first website design, and they're considering SEO as well. Now, this is Serbia, and the prices are lower than the US, so I can't really use the dollars badges and be truthful. Hey, Sir Jan, that's okay, though. Like, dude, this is awesome. I want to thank everyone for your support, and especially Nick and Tom for creating this chance for all of us and being such good teachers. If I can do it in Belgrade, Serbia, anyone can. Just follow the guidelines. And P.S., if you're going to be giving me a shout out, my name is pronounced Sir. Like
oh, there you go.
See you, look, Sir Jan. I remember reading that. So, yeah, awesome. And then he put his first client badges, which we have these available for you guys. So if you go to offlinesharks.com/badges, you can see all the different badges we have. They're not just for getting clients. They're also for completing trainings and things like that. So we want you guys to share your success. So do that. But Sir Jan, this is really awesome. Like, I love the initiative for you to, get the translations done, get this up. And again, it just shows you like what a good foot in the door strategy can do for you and how you can translate those into paying clients. So Sir Jan, awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, regardless of where you are too, right? Like a lot of people ask, will this work for me? I live in the UK or I live in, different places. I mean, he's in Serbia. So that's an amazing story.
Yeah, and that's going to be a reoccurring theme on this marketing jam session because, Nick and I always say all the time, like, look, if we could do this, if we could build 6-figure agencies, like anybody could do it. And I know sometimes people hear that and they think, I don't know, they think maybe we have some kind of superpowers or, we're special.
Mr. Incredible.
I am Mr. Incredible. But that being aside, like just an ordinary guy, right? Just an ordinary guy. And Nick's just an ordinary guy. And, Sir Jan is an ordinary guy who was able to get some results. And, the guest we're going to bring on too, he's an ordinary guy. And it's amazing when you see what he's been able to do. So, all right, enough of a teaser for that. So I know that's our big shout outs for the clients, but we do have a couple of additional shout outs that I want to throw in here. One is to Jacqueline with her Shirk merchandise. Look at that. Look at that bling, Nick.
Join the shark side. I love it. That's awesome.
Join the shark side. Yep. Awesome. Jacqueline, we really appreciate you posting your picture with your gear. And then we've got another one here. Gerald Johnson wearing his Small Business Rescue Squad. So we do have some Offline Sharks merch and we have the Small Business Rescue Squad merch. So I'm sure Cameron can put the links in the comments if you guys want to check them out. But we really like the Small Business Rescue Squad because people ask about it when you wear it around, right? Like, oh, what do you mean Small Business Rescue Squad? And right now in the current environment, like if you're out and about and you have that shirt on, another great foot in the door. Great foot in the door.
Yep. We're going to be doing some rescuing around here for sure.
Yeah. I don't know that I know I say it on just about every training we do, but I don't think I can say it enough. Like it is super important. Like we are positioned, like it is our responsibility as digital marketers to help local businesses. Like, the only way things are going to recover and get better is if local businesses thrive, right? If they're able to really hit the ground running and build up quickly. And as digital marketers, it's our responsibility to help fuel that growth. And, we're in a great position to help. So, I would really recommend like in your local area, like getting behind that cause, even if it's something that you're just doing as a favor for friends, right? So, like just be willing to put yourself out there and help these local businesses and maybe not even really worry so much about whether they're going to pay you or not. Because we know from our experience when we do that, like stuff just happens. Like we end up with paying clients, right? I know it seems scary at first. You don't want to do it, but it works.
It seems counterintuitive, you know, but every time I've done that, it's come back. I mean, you know, like I want to say tenfold, maybe not 10 completely, but it's come back a lot, you know? So
yeah,
especially now, right? We talk about it. I mean, right now we're in a different time. It takes something a little different to be successful. So, you know, that's just kind of the philosophy we've been operating on. And look at this. Look, Zach says that he just got an app inquiry Saturday. So if he gets it, he'll be busy until the end of 2021, which is amazing, right? That's like a year's worth of work. I've been seeing in our agency the uptick in people reaching out for stuff, for marketing services. So we got an incoming lead yesterday, day before, from a roofer, just totally unsolicited. Hey, I want to do SEO, roofing company, right? You know, and the businesses that we're talking to on a regular basis, like a lot of them are opening back up. A lot of stuff is going on, and as Tom mentioned, it's a great time for everybody to, you know, get back in. And you know, we on this call, all of us have a lot of valuable information that we can help with these business owners. So, and they need a lot of help. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and then were we going to do the reading? Are we putting the reading off thing till next week? Did we just want to bring our guest on?
No, do your thing.
Okay, all right. So we'll do our Tom and Nick reading, and yeah, I was excited for this book because it's got a great title, and it's a really interesting book to read, and it's called Agent of Influence, and it's by Jason Hanson. So it's Agent of Influence: How to Use Spy Skills to Persuade Anyone, Sell Anything, and Build a Successful Business. So for those of you that don't know, Jason Hanson is a former CIA agent. And he actually was in the CIA, got out of the CIA. He became a copywriter for Agora Publishing. And now this is his second book. He has another one that was like the Spy Survival Guide or something that wasn't about business, but this one is kind of business related. But he's got a lot of great stuff in here on some of the techniques and the things that the CIA and the intelligence community use for persuasion. And just a couple of things I just want to like read to you here, because they have this thing called it's the SADR cycle, right? The SADR cycle, or the world's most effective sales technique. And what that stands for is it's spotting, assessing, developing, recruiting. And that little cycle, as he explains it, and how the psychology behind it and why it works and all that stuff, is really great. Super smart things you can apply to your interactions with clients. And none of it is, I mean, it's I know it sounds like it would be super manipulative, but it's not. It's all based just on human behavior, psychology, and proven things that they've worked out. So Agent of Influence by Jason Hanson. You can find it. We list all the books we talk about. If you just go over to offlinesharks.com/books, you can find those. But it's a pretty quick read, and he's got a lot of interesting spy stories in here, which I really like too. So great book.
Awesome. All right. Let's talk about our guest a little bit. Actually, maybe we could do a little giveaway. We've got probably collectively just over 100 people on all our channels right now tuned in live. So let's do a giveaway. Give me some comments in the chat box, in the chat section, wherever you're at. I mean, you could be on YouTube, you could be on Facebook groups or a page, but first person to win or get this question correct will win a special gift. So the question I'm going to ask is, as you know, we have a special guest. He's not old enough to buy a beer. You can fill out an email, right? So first person that can answer the question correctly gets a gift. So how old do you think our special guest is? And, you know, through our reports, we've clocked him at making, $40,000 a month, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Not only can he not buy a beer yet, but he's not even out of high school yet. Like, not just can't buy a beer, but like not even out of high school yet. And yeah,
not 11, John.
It's really crazy.
It is. I mean, 13, 7.
I see lots of answers coming in.
Yeah. Can you find the top answer? Let's send them a. What do you think? Should we send them an Amazon gift card or send them a shirt?
Oh, that's up to you. Let's send them an Amazon. Well, I mean, we could give them the choice.
Let's do a gift card.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so many answers in here.
We'll just take the top one.
Well, how old is he?
He's 17.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm finding the. Hold on. It looks like the first one is Dorn.
Dorn. Look at Dorn's avatar. That's pretty sweet.
Dorn Brenton.
Dorn.
We had a killer hot seat with inside the Shark Alliance, by the way. It was awesome.
Dorn Brenton, we're going to send you a $25 Amazon gift card. Thanks for being fast. Fast in the chat. Your avatar looks just like you, dude. Amazing. I think you even got like the little mole up there. That's amazing. Cool. So let's talk about our guest a little bit. As I said, you guys, he's 17 years old. He's been clocked at $40,000 a month. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know what you do that kind of money at that age. Buy a whole bunch of Pokemon cards probably. But I mean, for somebody to be building a business, it's inspiring. So let's bring him on. This is Brandon Hayes. How's it going, Brandon?
Hey, guys.
Hey, aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah,
from Georgia. You guys are all the way in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Maui. We're super excited you're here.
Sweet.
I know the people on the in the shark infested waters are gonna love it. So yeah, if you guys didn't get a chance, so yesterday we had a training where Brandon went through his entire method that he's using to generate that income. It's called the Hayes method, and it's really, really, really great. Because one, it's basically something that you just set up in the background and just runs on autopilot, right? And so, number two, it uses a social media platform that just really hardly anybody's focusing on, right, Brandon?
Yeah, not many people are thinking about it these days. Not many people are talking about it, but it's a really great, opportunity. And it's almost like you've never even thought this type of thing was out there, but it's like you look at it and it's like, wow, it actually works really well. And it's actually very unsaturated.
Yeah. Well, like one of the things that we've been looking for in our business, and one of the reasons we were so excited about bringing this to our sharks is because we do talk about diversification a lot, right? And like developing multiple streams of income, which all entrepreneurs should do. But the thing that really got us excited about this was like, so a lot of times people will email us and be like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this thing, but here's the deal. I don't want to talk to anybody, right? Mm-hmm. And most of the time we've just had to tell them like, listen, you're just going to have to buck up because this is digital marketing and we're dealing with clients, and at some point you are going to have to talk to them at some point. It's really hard to do this without talking to them. But what got us excited about what you're doing is, again, you just set this up. You don't have to talk to anybody, right? Like
exactly. Yeah.
This is all just like a thing in the background that runs while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah. And really, once I got it set up and once, I got the first parts of the process going, which was kind of the hard part. Once I got that over with, it was like, I was just like, it was just running itself at that point. You know what I mean? It's like I was already getting traffic, and if you know like anything about making money, really, once you have the traffic, it's very easy to start getting people on and making money from it. So, and I'm reading the comments here. I like what Patty says. Thank you, Patty, for that compliment. And Christopher says 17 and a half. I just turned 17 like a few weeks ago. So not even a half, I would say. Yeah, not even a half.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
that's so crazy.
A really good point, though. I just wanted to kind of poll the audience again, like as marketers, as offline sharks, you know, Tom just mentioned a lot of people really do hit us up like, how can I make money without talking to anybody? Like that really is a huge obstacle for a lot of people. Like they either don't want to leave their house or they just don't want to pick up the phone. They don't want to walk into a business. Put like a 2 or let us know in the chat box if that's you. If you just, you know, you want to make this work, you want to make some sort of money online, but you haven't had success talking to businesses, or you just don't want to, you just don't really like doing that outreach part. Because I know a lot of us can relate to that.
Yeah, well, and another thing about this too is like you'll notice this is really kind of the first type of course and system like this that we've brought to our sharks, and there's a reason for that, and that is because again, you know, there are a lot of things out there that tell you can make their favorite thing is passive income, right? Like
Right.
You just set it and forget it, passive income. And like the reality of 99% of that stuff is it's not as passive as anyone says. Like there's work involved. And I know for me, when I was originally trying to do some things online, like I saw that right away. Like, well, there's just a lot of work involved in this, and a lot of it was super hard to get traction, especially when you don't run in those circles of people that are doing all that stuff, right? Like all the people in the same circle are making all the money. Like, and unless you can get in that circle, you're sort of, you know, you're just out of luck. But this really is something that isn't based on any of that. Like you just set it up, it starts to do its thing, and then over time it just naturally starts to build, right, Miranda?
Yeah, and that's kind of the cool part. I would agree with you. It's a lot different than what a lot of people, you know, in those other spaces are talking about, because, you know, the way that I kind of learned about this method was really when I was working with, like you said, like those circles where there's these people who are all working together and they know they know the strategies and they're always updating each other on what's working. And I think that's kind of the cool part that we can do with this program is I'm kind of letting people out of, like, you know, it's a younger circle, I would say, than a lot of the internet. It's like a young group of kids who are like mastering, like getting traffic and putting ads up. And it's actually kind of funny because with the program we've been able to like teach people how to kind of, we've kind of spilled the beans on that, on like what we're all doing in there. And how to set it up the easiest way possible. So, yeah, I think it's really cool, honestly. I saw Manny put a comment. Manny's was in our program and he said he didn't even know even the power of Pinterest. And I agree. I think that's kind of the cool thing about it is like, it's just like a social media that most people wouldn't think about. Like, I don't know if you guys have thought about it. Like, have you thought about Pinterest as far as the way it can garner traffic?
No, well, and that's one of the things when, like we don't. And that was another thing that got me excited about this, because I think whenever you can focus on something where a lot of people aren't focusing, right? Like everybody talks about, we were talking about this before the live, right? Like everybody talks about Facebook and Instagram and like nobody really talks about Pinterest, which means it's kind of like a wide open space there that nobody's really taking advantage of, right? And you know, this whole method that you have for setting up these sites, generating the traffic through Pinterest, and you know that gets the ad revenue going, is just like it's really super slick. And and again, it's something that the reason why again that we brought this to the Sharks is because, you know, it is something that you can set up that won't divert you from our main goal here, right? Which is getting clients and building our local agencies. So it's something you can just kind of set up in the background. It doesn't take a super long time, especially with your program where you guys do a lot of it for them, right? Yeah. So it's like They don't even really have to do anything. So it gets all set up. They can continue. You can continue doing your thing, focusing on prospecting, getting clients. This kind of runs in the background, or maybe you have, a family member monitor this, get your wife to do it, or, one of your kids or your husband, something like that.
Kids doing it.
Yeah. Like, so you set them up and have them do this kind of in the background. But
Tom,
again, like, yeah,
you should get on that.
I know. Sophie, I know I need to get
you got 2 kids, man. Get them to work.
Yeah.
Hey, put them to work. They need to get started somehow, right? It's like,
I know he's 17. How old is Paige?
So Paige is 13.
Oh.
So Sophie's 11 and she has like 10,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh man.
So she's the, I think, the one. Yeah.
Well, you guys, just for anybody that wasn't on that call real quick, I was thinking just to help them kind of connect the dots real quick, we could simplify this just to let them know. I mean, I know it's pretty straightforward, but maybe I could just try to draw it out. It's really hard to draw with a mouse. I don't know if you guys know that.
We won't judge.
So how's it work, right? We go to Pinterest, right? Go to Pinterest. We post some pins. Is that right? Make some pins and some posts. So what does that mean? Making some pins, like adding a picture with some content?
It just means that you wouldn't even have to make the images because we have a graphic design. We kind of have templates already. Like I think we even have some freebies. But it's just like there would be a website, and on Pinterest you would just use a Chrome extension and quickly save it over. Or just copy the link to the page.
It's like the equivalent of like sharing something on Facebook, basically.
Exactly. That hits the nail on the head. Exactly. Okay. It's just like sharing something on Facebook.
Okay, so you're going to pin a post. Now, without, revealing the secret sauce here, there's some strategy in the type of post, how you do it, all that stuff, right? The topic.
Right. Yeah, there's a certain angle that really works, like just draws people in.
Okay, so these posts have to be very specific. They have to be industries. You've discovered that some industries work better than others. They're more powerful, especially when it comes to monetizing.
Yeah, there's certain things that just like you do the right, you do the right post and you share it over, and it just kind of explodes because it's just something that a lot of people like just want to click on because they see it and they're like, oh my God, now I want to click on this. It's like clickbait pretty much. If you've ever heard of, like those sites on Facebook, you're scrolling down and like you see it and you're like, what? And then you click on it and you're like, man. And that's what we try and do. And it just makes money pretty easily.
Okay. So you pin these posts, attention getting posts, clickbait, if you will, right? You get people to click on them. So really you're trying to get as many eyeballs to see that post and click on that post. And then what happens next is they get sent to a website. Is that right?
Yeah, they get sent to the website that you own. So not Pinterest, not any of these other sites, but it's yours. So you can do whatever you want with it.
So this is your website. So, and it's just, talk to me about this website a little bit. Like, what is it? What's on this website? Like,
so I call this a kind of a magazine site, right? So you've seen newspapers before, but it's kind of like the modern version of a newspaper or magazine, right? So it's called a magazine website. So basically what there are is there's a logo, some categories. So you can draw on like a logo, the categories.
I thought about trying to draw something that says Mr. Incredible, and I was like, no way. This is my website. Don't judge. Be gentle.
Oh no, we're gonna judge. Just like Dorn said, we're judging, Nick. We're judging.
Yeah, we're judging now. We weren't going to judge, but now we are.
Right. Jeff says...
And he's the website designer, Brandon. He's the website designer.
Okay.
Look, Jeff
express his creativity. I'll let him express his creativity.
Nice website. I think I could build one like that. I know you could, Jeff. I know you could.
Okay, so the next thing is there's like just content, right? Free content that anyone can read.
So on this website, magazine website, I'm familiar with the type. We've all seen them. Think website that just has blog posts with excerpts, little snippets on the front page, things like that, right?
Exactly.
And all around a central topic?
Yep. So all around things that'll make people want to click the ads. Okay.
So you have this website. Is everyone with me so far, right? We got Pinterest. We know what that is, everybody.
Yeah, I like what Patty says. Simple WordPress site with blog posts, drop dead simple. So she's exactly right. It's
Okay.
just a blog site.
Okay. So Pinterest, you're pinning posts, right? That's driving traffic over to your website, your basic blog type website.
Exactly.
And then on this website, this is where we monetize, right? Next step.
Mm-hmm.
How are we monetizing that website?
So what you'll do is there's companies called ad networks. So, and essentially what they do is all you got to do is they give you a code and you paste it on your website. And so what that's going to do is it's going to make you money whenever anyone clicks on it.
And you put these on your site?
Yeah. So you would just go a simple WordPress plugin. You would copy the code, paste it into a plugin on your website, and then it would automatically do all the work for you. So you're pretty much, you have the ads in the right spot. You have things that are going to make money. And so all you're going to do now is just focus on the traffic and get more and more.
So you're gonna put these ads on your site, is what you're saying. So these ads they're not Facebook ads, because most people on this call, I think when they think of ads, they think about having to pay to put ads somewhere. But these are really the opposite. Like you put these ads, and when people click on these ads, you get paid, right?
Exactly.
So who's paying you? Who's paying you?
So I mean, just the biggest example you could think of, right? So Google, they have a network. You know, probably most of you in the local niche, you're thinking more about, you know, the local. You're thinking more about paying for your clients, you know, paying for AdWords and stuff. But it's sort of the reverse, right? So instead of paying someone to put ads on their site, people are paying you for putting ads on your site. So you pretty much have control now. It's completely reversed.
Okay, so basically, the more people that see your post, the more people that you drive to your website, the more people that see your ad, the more money you make.
Exactly. So simple. You get more traffic, more people see your website, you make more money from the ads.
Okay. So Humphrey asks, are you talking about AdSense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're using
Google
AdSense.
Ads now, and so Google AdSense, right?
Great. That's okay. I know a little bit about AdSense. Actually, when I got started, I had a friend. Both Tom and I have a friend actually who's using AdSense to. He's doing this exact thing, but he has like an iPhone blog, so he makes a lot of money with AdSense. So, for those of you that don't know, AdSense is basically, I think it's Google's ad network, right, Brandon?
Yeah, completely owned by Google.
Okay, so it's Google's ad network. You can install. How hard is it to put these ads on your site, Brandon?
Well, for Google AdSense, for example, they have their own. It's called Google Site Kit. You just install the plugin, log in with your Google AdSense credentials, and then you just check off where you want the ads and press submit, and then it's done. All the work done for you.
They make it pretty easy for people that don't really know how to do this stuff. It's like the plugin sets it up for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Brandon, I mean, that AdSense isn't the only one. That's just a big one, right? Like there's other ad networks that you put on your sites as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ones you could talk about, like media.net, or I mean the examples are just endless. I'm sure you've seen these ads before. It's just like there's a whole market, a whole industry just for ads, and you can just tap into that, put them on your site, and now you're making ad revenue just by installing it, pretty much, and having those people going to your website.
Yeah, well, and how hard is it to get accepted by these ad networks? Like,
right. So I would say there's different tiers. Ideally, you want to go for the mid tier because they're kind of the sweet spot. So it's going to take a little bit of, you're going to have traffic, like people come to your website to get accepted, but it's not going to be like too crazy. Now there are even better. So if you even go farther with it, there's even better ad networks you can use that are like what I call premium ad networks are even better. So just think about it like almost like levels. So there's low level, mid tier, high tier. And so the sweet spot that we teach people is the mid tier, the AdSense, media.net types, info links, all these mid tier ones that pretty much anyone can get accepted to without having to call anyone up or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And then, but like as you progress along in this, right? Like you can start with those ad networks, drive traffic from Pinterest, like you show, and then as your traffic increases, you could upgrade, like because you control what ads are on your site, right? Like you could upgrade to a premium network anytime you wanted and start showing those ads.
As long as you just go and sign up, and they like your site, then they'll let you put their ads on your site.
That's great. Well, I know as part of your program, you guys help people go through and get accepted, right? Don't you guys make sure that they can get accepted and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we're working right now, and we even partnered. We're still kind of working on this, like with a few of our people, just to kind of get it working. But we're even working on partnering with an ad network so that all of our people are just instantly in. So
look at this, you guys. Eric says that he bought this program yesterday. He has 4 kids starting their own businesses, age 15, 11, 10, and 9. They're all watching live right now, and they're starting the training this afternoon.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, Eric.
I think this is a good time to bring up this question. So, like, what can people expect, right? I know, like, like you both were talking about a few minutes ago. There are a lot of people out there that are putting this passive income thing out online, and they talk about huge numbers for people to make. They make big claims and big promises of people becoming, overnight success, like out of nowhere, making tons of money. What we're talking about here, it's not going to make you, we're being realistic. We're being transparent. Like, you're not going to make millions of dollars overnight, right? Yeah. But gradually it starts to add up. It starts to build up. And what we were talking about yesterday was, you start to see a lot of traffic pretty quickly to your site, right? Is that the first kind of indicator of you're doing things right?
Yeah. So you'll start seeing massive growth on your Pinterest profile. I mean, we've just seen some absolutely crazy results. Yeah. So that's the first thing.
How quick does that start to happen?
I mean, the soonest I've seen people post screenshots in our group all the time, like 3 or 4 days, sometimes even, just ridiculous. Like almost like an instant, like, influencer on Pinterest, like over just like in a week or two, just like a massive result. Lots of people seeing their stuff.
Okay. So pretty quickly, you're going to see some massive traffic going to your site, but that initially, obviously that's not going to make you tons of money immediately. So initially you start to make some traction. Is that how it works? And you build traction?
Yeah. And so what you see is almost like an exponential curve, right? So it starts out kind of slow, and then it builds up over time. It just keeps building up. And then you go through these cycles where it's like, it goes up and then down and then up even higher, and then up and then down and then up even higher. And it's just this pattern that just like, and then you see this, like, it just goes up like a line, just over time, you see that growth. So it's very cool.
So like you slowly water, like we talked about a money tree yesterday, right? Everybody know what a money tree is? Bonsai money tree. So, incrementally, you continue to make your posts, right? You incrementally drive more traffic to your site. $1 here, a quarter here, a dime here, right? A nickel even. Over time, it starts to add up passively in the background of your business, right? Eventually you could be making $5 a day.
Right.
And most people give up right at that point, right? Most people give up at maybe they're making 50 cents a day, and they're like, oh, well, I could give up right now. And most people probably, is that really where they fall off?
I would say people fall off with, they just don't post consistently. So, I mean, we make it as very simple as possible. And actually, I would say even bigger though than that, just in general, where people fall off is the content. So it's the images, it's the content, it's the daily stuff that they would have to make themselves like that. And that's where they end up falling off, because it takes time to do that. Now in our program, we have writers and graphic designers who kind of do it for you. So it makes it a lot easier. But just in general, just talking about this method of money sites and traffic, like you have here, that's where people fall off mainly.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up, because like this is not a, like Nick mentioned earlier, this is not something that is like it's not a get rich quick. It's something that grows over time. And so the longer you're able to be disciplined and consistent, just like with any real business, right? Like even an agency, the longer you can be disciplined and consistent in prospecting, the bigger your agency grows. It's the same with this. And so you have to realize when when you're doing something like this, that one, this is a long game business. This is not something that you're looking to get into and like a day trader where you're going to get into it and in a few days you're going to be just making a lot of money. Like, it's a long game thing. One of the questions I saw in the chat, Brandon, was like, how many sites did you have to hit that 40K a month revenue?
So what happened was, in May, essentially like around May, of 2000. I think it was 2019. It was last year, right? So 2019. Basically, what happened was I created. So I started off with one website, December 2018. What happened was I was like, I found the pattern. I was like, this thing was making me $50 a day. And so what I did then was about May, I scaled up to 10 websites. That's kind of when I first hit like my $10,000 a month. So with my first 10 sites, I hit $10,000 a month. Each one about averaging $1,000, right? And so what that means is that I was like, you know what? How far can I push this? How far can I push this to where I can take it even farther? And so what I did was I scaled to about 50 websites and made $40,000 in June and July. So that was where I hit it really big. And now I'm still making money pretty much without, like, I still have those sites and they're making money pretty much because I haven't been posting to them, but they're still making money. So I don't even post to them, but they still like drive in like a pretty good amount of money.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So Dorn asked if you pay somebody to do your homework now.
I've debated that. Like, I've thought about that. I'm like, like there's a few assignments just they're like you think about it and you're like, they're kind of useless.
That's funny. So what about $1,000 per month? How long does it take for somebody to get to $1,000 per month?
It depends. So, but like I would wait before I like to get to $1,000 a month. I would definitely wait like 3 months or so before you can expect that kind of a little bit over 3 months is where you would grow one site to $1,000 a month. Now, certainly though, it's very easy to get one site to $300 a month or $400 a month or $500. Those are kind of like the really good spots you can easily hit with one website. So you could the easiest way is to to have like a couple of sites that are making $300, $400 each. And then later on you expand and now maybe a few months from now, they're even making $1,000 a month. So that's kind of what happens when we grow them. And that's kind of what I look for in the results that I get from my sites.
Nice. So John's asking, how do you come up with all the content for that many sites? And John, so I think it's a good time to bring this up. For everybody that's interested in what we're talking about here, we actually have something set up for you, right? We have a special access to Brandon's course where he made our Sharks an incredible offer. He and Brian Anderson. Brian is helping Brandon because he has a bigger infrastructure to help out with all of the done for you aspects that are going on behind the scenes to doing this opportunity for all of you. So we actually have a special gift for all of you on the call. If you go to this link, you're going to get a PDF, kind of like a white paper that walks you through some of the traffic strategies that Brandon talks about. And on that page, you'll also see a button to the replay for the training that we had yesterday. So, we're gonna hop off this live in about 10 minutes. So, take this link, put it in another tab, pause it, put it there for a minute while we continue to talk to Brandon a little bit, and then watch the replay after this live is done. Because we go into even more detail in the replay and the training yesterday that you guys are really
deep. Yeah, we go pretty far into it, and it's just like, let me see. We talk like all these questions. We talk about it like in vast detail. So, Jacqueline, you said what niches. We talk about that for a really long time on there. How to become with the content. We talk about that. We pretty much hit really hard into the specifics in that webinar. We don't have much time for this call, but again, I definitely recommend going in the link and just checking that out because it's going to be really worth your time.
I will tell you guys too, though, the offer that has been made. There's a huge element of this entire system where Brandon's team basically does it for you. They set up your website, they set up the content, they give you the content. Your job is really to maintain and post the pins to Pinterest. And you have all the content for those pins, right, Brandon?
Yeah, we have all the content. We have writers and graphic designers.
So, everybody on this call right now, everybody, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're in a group. I spelled your name wrong in that link. Somebody
That's okay. I do a lot with the people. It's okay though.
Thank you. But anyway, everybody on this call can go to social media and post, right? We're on social media right now. So you know, if you're looking for a more passive way, something that you can set up in the background, something that won't be set as victim to a rocky or turbulent economy, like, you know, maybe working with clients, something that you can have to set up like another revenue stream in your life, in your business, I guess you could say as well. This is something that you should check out, because that's exactly what it is, right? It's a little different than what Tom and I usually talk about, but still very relevant, and you know, just another way to add a revenue stream to your business.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention too, because I just want to make a comment about one of the comments that came in, and I think maybe we weren't really clear about how this all came about and how this ended up being in front of our sharks, because somebody said, like, they basically made a reference of, like, if you're making all your money from selling your website services, it's not something I need, and that's not what this is, right? So let me just give you a little more background of how Brandon ended up on this Facebook Live, and you guys ended up hearing about, you know, his Hayes method. Number one, Brandon was not looking to put out the Hayes method. He had no intention of doing that. This is something that he was using to make money while he was going to school, right? And he was just doing it. Well, he ended up becoming an intern for Brian Anderson at his digital agency office in Georgia. And as he was, what's that?
Which is where he's at right now.
Yeah, which is where he's at right now. He's in Brian's office. So Brandon is interning with Brian at his agency. And Brandon mentions to Brian that he's got this way with Pinterest to generate cash. And so he shows it to Brian, and Brian is like, holy cow, this is great. And so they start talking, and then Brian was like, look, we should get this out there. And so they put together the Hayes method, and that's how it ended up here with you guys. So, you know, Brandon does not need to do this to continue to make money, right? Like, he uses the method. That's what he does, right? Like, and he really didn't have any intention of putting this out there. He was just gonna, like, just keep doing this. Like, I mean, like, it was generating, you know, 40 grand a month. Like, why would you do anything else, right? So we got really lucky in that he ended up as an intern with Brian, and Brian was able to kind of, you know, twist his arm and threaten to ground him if he didn't put out the Hayes method. So, you know, that's how it ended up here. So this isn't something that you're going to see a lot of other places. Like, there are a lot of things that just kind of happened by chance that got us to this point. And that, again, is another reason why Nick and I wanted to bring it to the Sharks, because it's like, this is just something you don't see every day, right? Like, most people that are doing this kind of stuff will never tell you what they're doing. They are just out there doing it in the background and making money. And so, you know, it's a rare opportunity to get some insight into that and see how they're doing that.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions for Brandon, we got a few minutes. We can do a little wrap up Q&A. Put them in the chat. But I mean, you know, it's for those of you that are just jumping in right now. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I wish it were more complicated. One thing that, you know, we were talking about yesterday is how when we see this, we want to overcomplicate it and take the method and build out the method into something else. But you shouldn't do that. You should just follow the method. That's why it's there. I mean, it's a blueprint, right? You basically go to Pinterest and you have this curated content that Brandon and his team give you to post to a website that they give you. And then you put ads on those sites and you get paid for the people going to that site. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So
there's a couple questions, Nick, I want to address. One, Ma Chris said, who's the intern? Brandon is the intern. Where is he? Like, we're on the Brady bus. Brandon was the intern. There he is. Another one is a couple of people I think have asked, do we think AdSense would work on our local directory sites? And a couple things I want to say about that. Here's why, like, of course, I think it would work, right? But here's the deal. Like, to do that, you need like national level kind of traffic, right? To really make, like, yes, you could put AdSense on a local directory site. The chances that you're going to make any significant amount of money from that are like super slim, because there's just not enough traffic in a local area even if you're in a bigger city, there's just not enough traffic to really generate the revenue that you need, right? Because it's all based on traffic. So doing something like that, I think would really be diluting what you're doing with your local influencer site, because you want it to be community local focused. You want visitors to be in the community. Like, that's the whole point of it, right? So my recommendation would be not to do that and set up a separate website that you can, follow Brandon's method, set up a separate site, use his method so you can get the traffic volume that you need to generate money with this. Yeah, and I would do it on the side, and that way it's not tied to anything.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the whole point of diversification as well. It's like you want to make sure that the stuff you're doing is not connected. You want to have this over here, and they don't really connect. So I would agree with that. It's like, with that type of stuff, it's like, one click is like could be a buyer, right? But here it's like you want that volume, and that's why ads are the best fit. So you kind of have to adapt for everything and fit the pieces together where they belong, I think. And I agree. I would agree that they're kind of two different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would be much better off putting an ad for your own business on your influencer site to market your products and services. You would have a much bigger ROI and use that system and service for what it was intended. But what I would do if I were you is I would follow, what Brandon has here. And instead of, because I know a lot of us are guilty of this, what about if you spent the 15 to 20, sometimes hours for some people that you spend, looking at Instagram or looking at your news feed on Facebook? What if you spent that time and just transitioned it, diverted that time into making some of these pins on your Pinterest profile? Like, what if you could retrain your brain to spend even half the time that you do that stuff to this? I mean, you could start building a passive money tree in your life. So, I mean, think about it that way, rather than thinking about how you can, connect a different system to a different system. How about just diverting a little bit of the time that you already spend on social media to a revenue producing activity that you could be spending on social media?
I like that. So it's like, yeah, if you have that 15 minutes, just go ahead and go for it. And even Pinterest, we've heard stuff in our group where the people are like, I'm addicted. Like they're like going through it like crazy. And like, so people get addicted just to doing the work. And that's why we've seen, I think I was talking to Brian, and he was like, look, this product, like everyone's doing it. Like all of our people are doing it, right? And everyone's taking action. So we have a really action-based community of people who are just doing it because they love doing it. It's fun. They can do it instead of stuff like social media. And it doesn't take all their time away. If you have this over here, it's not going to take much time away from it. If you're, I don't know, you wake up in the morning or, you're even on the toilet, right? Pull out your phone, go on Pinterest and start doing the work, right? So that's literally all it takes. And that's why I really think it's very cool is the amount of output you can get with just a minimal amount of work.
I think that's what makes it so appealing is that, once you start making a little bit of money with it, that's when it becomes addicting, right? Because then you realize you're like, oh, okay, I can do this rather than, that. I mean, it just starts to click and make a lot more sense. Yeah. One final question, because I think a lot of people have this. So let's talk about the building a $300 money site, right?
Mm-hmm.
After they, jump into your program, you do all the setup, you give them all the content, you give them all that stuff. What would be a good daily regimen to build up to a $300 a month site, in a few months? Like, how much time a day should I invest in pinning posts to Pinterest with the content that you give me?
What we recommend is, since we're taking care of the content, the images, you would just, maybe if you get a Starbucks every day and you have to wait in line, or you're in the drive-thru, you have to wait in line, go on, just do the work and then you're done. Or even when people wake up in the morning, or you can't sleep and you're up in the middle of the night, maybe you wake up every morning at 3 a.m. I don't know, pull out your phone and do the work. It's like, it can be in those little micro spots where you're not doing anything and you get results from it.
So we're talking at a minimum 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, so like 5 minutes in different times during the day. So little small pieces of 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
And in the beginning, like the first like week, you're gonna have to set some stuff up. But once you set it up, then it's gonna be more like 5 minutes just every day. And from there, that's kind of what you'd have to do. So in the beginning, you know, you may have to take an hour or two to set stuff up, but later on, it's gonna be much quicker.
That's awesome. Hey, you guys, if you've already jumped into Brandon's program, let us know in the chat. I know that we have a few of the members already here. You've purchased. I know Patty's in. She said that it's drop dead simple, but I want to get kind of like a show of hands of how many people are already in. I know Eric says he's got his kids doing this now, so that's pretty awesome, pretty amazing. It'd be good to see for those of you, so we can keep some tabs on you, right? I want to know, you know, let us know how it's going. Humphrey wants to know if you put affiliate links in those sites. Humphrey, we talk about that on the training, so
Yeah.
Go to the replay page. There's a button on the link. Go to the link on the screen. When you get to that page, there's a button to watch the replay. And you can see everything that we talked about yesterday. And you can also take advantage of this tremendous opportunity and the great deal that Brandon and Brian have offered our Sharks. So thanks so much for being here, Brandon. Appreciate you hanging out and letting us know a little bit more about what you got going on.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon.
Thank you guys. Yeah, very cool. I like all the people in here. I really like, because it's just like I see in this group is like really interested, focused people who really want to go in, and I just think it's kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm loving it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks again, Brandon and Nick. We need to do our member of the week. We didn't do that before we started.
Pull up the member of the week. Let's do it.
Member of the week. Yeah, and I don't know why that banner says join AGM. I don't know why that's in there.
What banner?
The banner that's on the screen right now with the link.
Oh, I see. I don't know why it says that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it was just a little confusing. So
join.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Cool. All right, so let me share my screen, and we're gonna do our member of the week. And here we go. All right, anybody have any guesses on who our member of the week is? Dun, da, da, da. Our member of the week is Sir Jan.
No way.
Yes, Sir Jan is the member of the week.
That's awesome.
Sir Jan, congratulations.
So he's making all kinds of moves. Now he's going to get a special gift from us too. So Sir Jan, our team is going to reach out to you and send you something. Congratulations. Yep. Keep taking action.
Yeah, really awesome to see what you're doing, Sir Jan. And yeah, guys, head over to that link, Hayes-FB. Check out the training replay. And there's a free gift on there from Brandon that kind of outlines the method and stuff like that. So you guys will really like that. Brandon, thanks again. Really appreciate your mom letting you come and join us for an hour. So
yeah,
that's
the letter.
Yeah, that's really great. So yeah, we appreciate that.
Nice.
And Sharks, enjoy the rest of your Friday. We'll see you here next Friday. Same Shark channel, same Shark time. Stay safe. Practice aloha, everybody.
Take care, everybody.